More breaking news here. This one's kind of disturbing. Joe Mixon reportedly, there's some situation going on at his house right now, and his house is being taped off. Deputies in front of his house, the side and the backyard. Around 11:30 p.m., deputies banged on his front door at Joe Mixon's house, saying, "Sheriff's Department, come out." Crime scene tape was extended across the driveway as well. This is from Fox 19, according to this individual on Twitter, which was cited from this individual over here. Or wait, was it right here? I think it was right here, yeah. So we have ML Football talking about breaking. Deputies are now inside of Bengals star running back Joe Mixon's home. And then this report earlier before that saying Fox 19 is reporting that shots were fired near Bengals running back Joe Mixon's home. They've apparently been banging on his door waiting for an answer. A young kid was taken to the hospital with injuries that we don't know the extent of. Joe Mixon's involvement doesn't, and then the tweet ends. Not too sure what's going on here. We certainly pray and hope that Joe Mixon and anybody involved, especially if there's a kid involved, are okay. Regardless of what anybody thinks about Joe Mixon's other off the field activities or his, potential drop and play or whatever, like none of that matters right now. Let's hope that Joe Mixon's okay. Let's hope everybody's okay. Let's hope nobody's in danger. Let's tread lightly on Joe Mixon's 2023 fantasy season at the moment while we try and navigate this real quick. But I'll keep checking Twitter to see if there's any updates, but apparently sheriff's deputies are in front of Joe Mixon's home, or actually in front of and inside Joe Mixon's home, and they have been banging to see if Joe Mixon was available. This doesn't sound good, to be honest. I get a bad vibe going on here in regards to what's going on with Joe Mixon right now. This sounds like, I don't know, I don't even want to say what this sounds like, but this sounds like a pretty terrible situation. Let's see here. We won't come out. He won't come out of his house. This could be a situation where I don't even want to speculate, but it sounds like there was a situation where Joe Mixon won't come out of his house. Sounds like reportedly a kid was shot. I'm not saying it was Joe Mixon. I'm not saying anything yet. We don't know. But the fact that they're having trouble getting Joe Mixon out of his house, maybe this is all a complete misunderstanding. But this is awful if any of this is true. I hate even going live on this without knowing any details, but yeah, as of right now, that's what we know. They're now inside Joe Mixon's home. This person that originally tweeted it is a verified, let me just make sure. Yeah, it's a legacy verified Twitter account from Fox 19. So it's a legit, reporter from Fox 19 that has been verified the old school way on Twitter, the verified legacy. But it's not like they have a huge account. This all came from this individual. I'm a little concerned about reporting on this, or a little bit, not concerned, but a little bit hesitant to draw too many conclusions on it until we know. But this person reportedly works for, this person right here, Win, reportedly works for Fox 19 and is verified on Twitter to be Fox 19, I guess, employee or reporter. So, man, I'm looking for more information on this. Here's a better video of 3 more people heading inside. So let me see if I can show this to you guys. This is a video footage of Joe Mixon's home, and as you can kind of see there are people walking up the driveway right there to head inside of his home. Again, reportedly, Joe Mixon's house is being taped off. Sheriff's deputies were banging on the door trying to get back in, or trying to get in the house. To apparently talk to Joe Mixon. Somebody, apparently a kid, potentially shot. We don't know the extent of the injuries in the neighborhood, not necessarily at his home or anything, but this doesn't look good. And I don't know if Joe Mixon's involved or not. We can't insinuate that. But yeah, it seems pretty bad. The conclusion is that Mixon is not going to be a Bengal next year, says Look, let's not go there yet. We gotta be careful on this one, not to speculate too much. There's a video from Fox 19 News reporter reporting outside of his house. says Liz. But definitely not a good look to this at the current moment. The fact that they're trying to get into Joe Mixon's house, maybe he's not in there. Maybe he's not home. You know what I mean? Like we gotta tread lightly here. We don't really know. They could have been banging on his home because he wasn't there. Maybe he's out of town. Maybe he's not even in town at all. You know what I mean? This could be something that happened at his home with people that are in his residence that has nothing to do with Joe Mixon. So let's hold off on casting any judgment or throwing out too much concern. But this does not look good. Regardless of what happened at his home, does not look good. And prayers up for whoever's injured. Deputies are now inside of Joe Mixon's house. A lot of people saying he's not coming out, but again, no one even knows if he was inside. He's not coming out. Maybe if you came banging on someone's door and they're not home, of course they're not coming out. So we don't really know. We don't really know anything yet. Let's just hope he's okay. I'm looking here. Let's hope the kid's okay. Let's hope anybody involved is okay. This right here. I'm pulling up more information here. Philip Lewis. Who's Philip Lewis? Philip Lewis is a Detroit native, senior front page editor for the Huffington Post. So a little bit more. Let me put this on screen. We have a little bit more support that this is not like some kind of like mix up or bad reporting job from some person playing a trick on somebody that somebody retweeted. But this is a Huffington Post individual that is verified and has, let's see how many. This guy right here, Philip Lewis, who's tweeting it out right now, has over 300,000 followers on Twitter and works for the Huffington Post. So I feel a little bit more confident that what we're looking at is at least verified by a lot of people to be happening. So this guy right here, Philip Lewis, works for the Huffington Post, has over 300,000 Twitter followers, and he's reporting that Fox 19 is reporting from what is the home of Cincinnati Bengal running back Joe Mixon. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what to think here. I'm not sure what even to say at this point. There's nothing to say. We're all just assuming. Details extremely limited, but sheriff's office is investigating an incident. Okay, here we go. Here's a little bit of an update from that same guy, Philip Lewis, from the Huffington Post. So let me put this on screen here, and this will give us a little bit more information on this. But this is not looking good for whoever's involved. I'm not saying it's Joe Mixon, but this right here is from that same individual from the Huffington Post. Details are extremely limited, but sheriff's office is investigating an incident that left a juvenile injured. Active investigation. Fox 19 says they confirmed the home belongs to Joe Mixon, but his involvement, if any, is unclear. So this may not have anything to do with him. Rumor says he shot a kid while they were having an airsoft war in his front of his house. I don't know, bro. Let's wait on that one. I don't know where that's coming from. That's something that's like speculative at best at this point, because I don't think there ought to be some eyewitness of that leaked that for that to be true. People are spreading rumors like crazy, I'm sure. So let's not facilitate any more rumors until we know what's going on. Wasn't he just accused of brandishing a weapon towards someone in February? Yes, he was. That's kind of why this is a little suspect, But we still have to be careful. But man, this is awful. Part of you wonders if like kids were messing around and a kid picked up something that he shouldn't have picked up. You know what I mean? But hey, at the same time, like a weapon shouldn't be lying around at Joe Mixon's house. That's partly, possibly. I mean, we're assuming here, right? But if there's a weapon laying around, probably is his. Possible it could be someone else in the house, I guess. But this is his house, so, this is probably going to be an issue regardless for him. He's already facing a whole bunch of trouble with, like whoever said that, Knox, that he's already facing a situation that he was waving a weapon around already. So this is not a good look. We'll have to see what happens. Tyler says fake news. His sister said it doesn't involve him. What's fake news, Tyler? The station also reported that there were multiple evidence markers in Mixon's yard and crime scene tape around his house and his neighbor's house. Still may not involve Mixon. We don't know yet. Total speculation at this point. People are speculating, and I'm sure people are spreading rumors. I'm sure someone's reading a comment where somebody's making up something, just trying to be funny and be a ridiculous person in a very tragic situation, and somebody saw that and repeated it and so on. You know what I mean? Mixon, yeah, the station also reported that there were multiple evidence markers. Okay, got that. If it is his house, it involves him. I mean, Double A's got a point that, like, if there's a weapon inside the home that's Mixon's and somebody picked it up and used it, he's still going to get in trouble. You know, there's still a lot of issues there. But maybe that wasn't his weapon. Maybe somebody did something in his front yard that had a weapon of their own. They brought it to the situation. We don't even know. We're assuming a lot of things here, and any report that's out, we just don't know if it has any. You know, we gotta wait. No, you know, speculating is not something that's going to benefit anybody at this point. We just need to wait. Despite Mixon's past and recent situation, might not have anything to do with this situation, but this is awful so far. It could just be the neighbor. Possible. Possible. We got 92 people in here. Punch that thumb up button. Let's, if you guys want to ask any fantasy questions at all, we can talk about that as well while we're here. But I plan to just go live on this just in case there was something that we needed to break on this. You know, like I said, I hate even going live on a situation like this, but it is a pretty relevant player, and I am a news show, so trying to do my best to tread lightly on this topic too, and not be disrespectful or make any assumptions of Mixon without really knowing the whole story. So let me go ahead and drop the phone line. Let's open the phone line. If you guys have anything to say, please tread lightly. I don't want anybody coming in here saying negative things about Mixon in regards to this without knowing the details of the situation. So phone lines are open if you want to dial in. Let's go.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in. Let's discuss this situation that we have on screen here. Joe Mixon's home has been taped off, or at least the driveway in the front yard in the neighbor's home, due to a potential, we think potentially a shooting of some sort that involved a juvenile, and we don't know the extent of the injury whatsoever, but this is not looking very good right now. But we have no idea of Mixon's involvement, if any. The only thing we could really say is that, you know, this happened. Apparently, this reportedly happened at his home, and we'll have more information on that shortly. So hang tight as we gather that information. Let me just drag this in here real quickly, and I gotta replace this. 1 second, guys. Dial in if you got a question. Phone lines are open. 602. Let me see. Do I have the phone line on the screen? I don't think I do. Let me grab this phone line real quick. Dial into the show. Phone line's right there, 602-635-3664. If you want to discuss this or anything else relating to today's news. Breaking says gaming deputies are now inside the Bengals star running back Joe Mixon's home. Yeah, we got that on screen here. Appreciate you dropping that. News from the Internet Explorer, says Ben. Wonder if the camera's caught at this time, that would be interesting. I mean, God, it's nonstop cameras, bro. Ben, you're live on the Fantasy Football Show. No bombs, Ben, and be careful to what you say in regards to Joe Mixon, because this is innocent until proven guilty type situation. But what can I do for you, Ben? You're live.
Yeah, Smitty, what's going on, man?
Yeah, what's up?
I was just wondering, what you think about P. Ryan's value in the 15th round right now?
What timing you have? Too soon? I don't know. I think P. Ryan is an interesting player for one more year if he's at the right value. But I think the Bengals are going to go really hardcore after a running back, whether it's through free agency with Barkley. If tomorrow we find out Barkley's hitting the free agency game, or maybe they go after a rookie running back and they're able to get somebody and bring someone in cheaply. And I don't know. I guess it depends what happens with Mixon here. Not just with this situation, but with the other situation where he reportedly had a weapon and those charges were not pursued, but the individual involved was reportedly going to maybe still pursue charges, and we haven't heard anything yet. And now we have this situation, another potential weapon involved, at least at the home, which they'll find out whose it was. Why was it was it used in the situation? All those factors will come into play, and the Bengals may be supportive of this, considering what's going on, or they may be very, very disappointed. We don't really know the whole extent of the situation. This could be a horrible accident between two younger adults that tried to something happened and it shouldn't have happened. It was an accident, or it could be a full blown incident. My guess is either it's really bad and that's why Mixon wasn't opening the door, or Mixon wasn't home and that's why they were banging open the door. Nobody came out because he wasn't even there. I don't know. It's tough to say. But yeah. it's a lot to happen for one guy and have two situations that have like weapon involved. It's like,
if we find out he's involved, I find it really hard to imagine a scenario where the Bengals want to keep him around, even if maybe some of it's not his fault or whatever, just with all the
it's a lot of stuff, bro,
that have been going on around.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff, and part of you wonders if it's related at all. Like, is there any kind of I don't know. It's just tough to know.
Right.
Someone talking about Nerf.
It could be I'm not a doctor or anything, but it could be some sort of CTE already.
Yeah, it's tough to say. And that's something no one knows.
He's been this way for a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
he could have violent tendencies that are being brought out.
Maybe, or again, or he wasn't even home. We have to make sure we keep throwing that out there, because we really don't know. The fact that the police, let me put it this way: if let's say he wasn't home, or let's say he was home and they were banging on the door, open up. Usually, when they apprehend somebody, they take them out pretty soon, pretty quickly, pretty swiftly, and put them in the back of a vehicle or something if they're trying to get a hold of somebody. Like if he was in some sort of trouble and he was there. The fact that they were banging, open up, it's the sheriff's department, and then they find out no one's there, then they go in and they're investigating and they're taking their sweet time. There's no sign of Mixon anywhere. You know what I mean? So it very well could be just he's not home. And we'll find that out later, that Mixon was, there'll probably be a statement released. Mixon was not at his home, but he's completely broken up about the situation. But you got to wonder if there's somebody playing in his front yard and they're inside the home and they're gathering evidence and information, then somebody's there. Somebody's there that didn't open up the door. But, well, I don't know. Maybe it's a scared kid. Maybe it's Mixon's son or daughter. I don't even know if he has any kids at all. Inside the home, and they're just scared to death of what happened. Maybe some accident happened. They were playing around with something they shouldn't have been playing around with, and next thing you know, someone's injured, and who knows.
Yeah, hopefully we get some news coming in here pretty soon. But I'm glad I've been keeping my exposure low, thanks to you, honestly.
Well, I can't be credited for seeing tonight's news coming, but. I just think
he's been a Uranus man for a while.
Yeah. But I think here's the thing. I'm gonna try and tread lightly here because it's gonna make some people, innocent until proven guilty people, upset. But like I 100% feel like Mixon is innocent until proven guilty with the situation. I think I've made it pretty clear. I think I've been pretty, hey, let's be careful. Hey, let's not jump. I've said that the whole show. So if someone thinks that I'm out here talking bad about Mixon and jumping to conclusions, like rewatch the show. I'm totally 100% saying let's be careful what we say because we have no idea what's going on. This could be a travesty where he needs thoughts and prayers with them, not accusations. So I made that abundantly clear. But
right,
I've already said in a court of law, they're gonna be on the same side as you there. But coming from or trying to look at this from the Bengals' perspective as an organization, in my opinion, it just the extras are starting to pile up here. Whether it's really his fault or not, his right. So back to what I was going to say is that in this situation, I can't make it more clear than to say it again. I am not saying and insinuating anything. He may have not even been home. We have to be very careful what we say about Joe Mixon because he doesn't deserve to be accused of anything until we know. That said, I've also made it very clear based on his previous actions from back in his college days when he laid out a female with one punch that this guy's a POS. You know, so like while I hope he's okay, and I never wish ill will upon anybody, and I hope everybody involved is okay. This is like there's a potential juvenile involved. Like this is awful. This is awful, man. Everybody needs to stop for a moment, toss some prayers into the air for whoever got injured in this thing. And even if it was Mixon, I want Mixon safe. I don't want Mixon hurt. I want Mixon to get help if he needs help. But dating back to college, and yeah, maybe he had no real run-ins until this recent one before this recent one, since his college days. But what he did in college was so atrocious. I reserve the right to not forgive him for what he did in college. But regardless, this situation's different, and I don't know what's going on with it. But we'll have to wait and see. Someone said here, KD says, Smitty, would you go live if a player got hemorrhoids after a tough poo? Probably, bro. It depends on, is that a contract year? We'll have to see.
If it's Joe Burrow, yes.
Yeah, if Joe Burrow got hemorrhoids, we'd definitely be going live talking about that, making sure he's okay, prayers up. Does he need anything? Definitely would be some concern there. Adrian Peterson was 27 years old when he ran for 2,000 yards. Adrian Peterson was a special, unique human being. Very, very unique. He was also involved in some crazy stuff, but let's not go there. Today, KJ Osborne saved a man's life by pulling him from a burning car. So there was some positive new NFL news today. That's amazing. That's awesome. If that's true, that's awesome, D-Town. Is that really true? Did he pull someone from a car? I thought I heard something, and I was moving too quick with all the other stuff. I had to skip over.
I actually just watched the video. I actually just watched KJ Osborne talking about that. It was a pretty crazy story. He was getting a ride from like an Uber driver, and his Uber driver pointed out like on the side of the road, like his Uber driver said something, and KJ looked up and didn't see anything, and then they just see like the car over on the side of the road like on fire. So they get out, and the Uber driver is calling the cops, and then they're trying to figure out like if there's people in there, and so there was actually two people. So the Uber driver was calling the cops, and then they were getting their game plan together and just like trying to get him out of the car and get away from the car before it exploded or anything.
That's crazy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. This sounds really like shallow, but like when I was going through the news today, I did kind of see it, and I was like, I can't stop for that. I'm like, I gotta go. There's so much news. I had the Jacobs thing. I had this and left. I should have read more on that and mixed it in because it's such a great story. But I couldn't stop. There's so many things going on. I'm like, is this contract related? Is this moving team related? Is this suspension related? Okay, if not, I got to come back and read this miracle story by KJ Osborne. I just don't have time. So I scrolled by it. I'm like, okay, what else? But I didn't ever remember to go back and reread it. And all the other stuff has been absorbing the entire news cycle. Speaking of cars, Saints Olave stock up. Absolutely. To the moon. Olave to the moon. Olave is going to be an absolute monster. Well, anyway, I don't think we have any more information on this. Let me just reskin it. Fox 19 is reporting from. Oh, that's an old one. Hold on. Let me see if there's anything else being reported on this. God, the people are cruel on the internet, man. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to sift through. Jeez, the internet is just brutal. Just nothing but like horrible memes. I'm trying to sift through. Police taped off and wrapped the front of his home listed Joe Mixon's home earlier. Wait, what? What is this? Police tape wrapped in front of home listed as Joe Mixon's in early February incident report in another case. Tonight, I spoke with Mixon's sister. She tells me Joe was not involved in the Monday night incident. This incident here with the injured teenager. Deputies are still there. So a juvenile was taken to the hospital. So his sister reportedly, I guess, is the one at his home. Reportedly, we don't fully know if Joe Mixon wasn't involved, but we have no evidence to suggest he was. This is at his home. I guess that is evidence that he could have been. Like you would assume, maybe he is. Banging on the door, open up, no one opening doesn't help the situation. Clearly, that's what is making people jump to conclusions. But his sister reportedly is saying that he was not involved. So that's what we have right now. Yeah. So anyway. Keyboard warriors and keyboards. Yeah, there's a lot of keyboard warriors and just kind of disgusting behavior out there. Definitely. You go live just to ask for prayers and refuse to comment. Well, I mean, I think I've done a pretty good job defending Joe Mixon, if that's what you're insinuating, Marquez. But yeah, I'm definitely not trying to jump to conclusions for Joe Mixon. But doesn't change the fact that we still, there are things that I question about this guy anyway. Second round, Olave.
I just want to give you a quick shout out. Man, you're really the only one in the industry doing this the way you do, bro. Like, you inspire me because I know you have your degree in psychology, and it's really interesting the way you're able to dive into these topics, and like you just really teach me, and I'm sure countless thousands of other people how to think through these situations from a player perspective, and from a legal perspective, and from a team perspective without.
Don't forget medical. Don't forget my non-medical degree. Don't forget being a deep fake doctor on the internet.
That too. Yeah, you're great at that.
I appreciate that. I went to school twice. I like to think I use my degrees, even though I don't technically speaking use them. But I will say that I do what I love. I come to work every day without even knowing I'm at work. I work 365 days a year. I work on call 24/7, though. It is not an easy lifestyle. I think a lot of people, they criticize, but that's fine. I mean, when you get bigger and bigger, you're going to have more haters and such. That's normal. But I think, like, people don't realize how much work goes into it. Not that I'm asking for a pat on the back or anything like that or a cookie. Like, I know what I signed up for and I love it, but this is definitely not a lifestyle. Like, I'm not afraid of even giving someone the blueprint to do what I'm doing because I know how hard it is to actually deploy it, because there's a lot of people that do this stuff, like, no offense to Matthew Berry or no offense to, and these guys don't even need to do what I'm doing because they have their job secured. They do a certain way but I know that these guys wouldn't, like Miss Smitty's a unique individual because she puts up with it. There's really no person's lifestyle that I even know. Like, anybody I know that they're capable of stepping out, walking into a studio, firing it up, and going live for 2 hours randomly when something crazy happens. So it is a job I love, and I feel like it's something that we're going to get bigger and bigger. I have no doubt we're going to get to like 100K on YouTube. We're going to keep growing. My goal, though, truly, and I think we'll totally get there, is to become a bigger platform than even an ESPN. A lot of people say, Smitty, someday you're going to be working for ESPN. I don't want to work for ESPN. I want my YouTube channel, I want my platform to be bigger than ESPN. That's the goal. I don't want to just be fantasy football either. I want to have a sports talk avenue as well. And I kind of have that already in play and in the plan in place. And so, we'll eventually have the Dynasty channel, we'll have this channel, and we'll eventually potentially have a general sports talk channel as well. So time will come, but we're doing it live. And man, I love doing what I do. I'll tell you that. I love doing what I do. I don't feel like I'm working. And I hope that everybody out there can say the same thing about their job someday, that you literally don't care what day of the week it is. Like, there's no better feeling in the entire world than not caring about Monday coming. I hated that. When I worked in the workforce, bro, I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't do it. Thinking about going to work on Monday, there's nothing better than going, it's Sunday and everybody else is scrambling. I got to go to work on Monday, and you're like, I don't care about Monday. I love Monday. Mondays are fun days.
I hear you. Right now I drive a forklift for Driscoll's. We do like all the strawberries and stuff. I'm sure you see our strawberries, blueberries and all that. But I really want to start doing my own like content creation in the fantasy space, and I'd love to keep collaborating or like keep communicating with you, and hopefully we can collaborate in the future, because you're the GOAT. You're the best.
Well, appreciate that. $10 holler from Neil. Neil says, an inspiration. Thank you, Neil. Appreciate you dropping that super chat. $10 moonshot, my guy. $10 moonshot. ESPN is for the birds, says Travis. Look, I'm not going to lie. If ESPN called me and said, hey, we want you to do a fantasy corner spot, from your studio, where we'll pay you X, a week to come on and do a little spot, I would gladly go on and do this, daily spot for them. Like, if they, not saying they'd ever call me, I'm not an idiot. I'm just saying, like, I don't want people to think I would turn down free promotion for my channel and brand. But if anybody thinks my goal is to like literally leave here and stop doing what I'm doing, that's not it at all. I don't want to work for anybody. I don't want to work for anybody ever again. Every day is fun day when you don't work. That's true. It's true. Blue collars.
No, you're just your own boss. You have to hold yourself accountable. I'm sure there's times where you're about to lay down for a nap, or you're about to go get some food, or you're about to go do something, and the news comes out, and you just got to go to work, and there's nobody there to tell you to go do it. You just got to be responsible.
Yeah, those naps are tempting, though. I'll tell you, bro. I'll tell you. There's nothing harder than walking away from the nap situation, But yeah. I mean, I tend to sleep like a bear. It's like I'll get 2 or 3 hours, and then I'll be up, and I'll get 2 or 3 hours, and I'll be up. I'll get 2 or 3 hours, and then I'll sleep for 10.
That's me.
That's the way I do it, unfortunately. All right, my guy, I got to let you go. Appreciate you, Ben. I'm going to go, on that note, I'm going to go sleep like a bear.
All right.
Later, pal.
For a draft, huh?
Yeah, I'm not doing a draft today. Smitty. All right, man, later.
All right.
All right, guys. Hopefully Mixon's okay. Hopefully the toddler's okay, more importantly. Apparently there's some, not toddler, I think it was a juvenile. Hopefully that juvenile is okay, that potentially was a victim of the situation. More to come. Hopefully it's good news. No one else is reporting on this, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's even going on at this point. Last thing I'll leave is the sister reportedly said that he was not involved, so we'll find out if that's the actual story, or if that's something somebody said as well. The OJ, appreciate you dropping that comment. Appreciate all the super chats. Neil dropped a $10 hauler earlier. Neil, I want to thank you for that. I want to thank all of you for watching the Fantasy Football Show. Please subscribe if you're new. There's 96 of you in here. If you are new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. And I'm live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. I'm also live whenever news breaks. Even if it's something like this, I try and go live just to keep everybody updated because people have questions, and that's my job to be here for it. And then I also go live pretty much every other night at midnight doing live drafts on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Smitty, go get some. Now, I will see you all probably tomorrow, I imagine a couple times, if not at least once before my 7 p.m. show, because we should have live breaking news. I may jump on Instagram real quickly, so if anybody wants to catch me on Instagram real quick, I might be over there. Later.